it's all of a sudden that it was just like, you know what, this absolutely ridiculously terrifying situations happened to me, and it was horrible. And God knows if it's going to happen again. But I'm going to try my damnedest not to. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about it, and I want more people to talk about it, because I can't be the only one. When I was sat in that bath, I was just going through Google so many times as to has anybody else on this planet been in this situation that I'm in, and if so, what the hell did you do to get yourself out of it? And obviously I didn't find anybody. Now, I really, really, really sincerely hope nobody else across the world is going to end up in a bath for that length of time, and they might stumble across the internet. But if they do, there's a resource for it now. There's a guy in Scotland who had that experience, and we'll never meet each other, but we'll be able to connect in a way that me and you're doing right now.
Yeah.
We'll be able to feel related. We'll be able to feel visible. Pure, what we're feeling is validated. Okay, these aren't, going back to what we're talking about, the stigma. These aren't blue Mondays. These aren't heebie-jeebies nervous. This is raw emotion. This is terror and fear in some people, and absolute anguish and peril and depression. And it's very, very, very real. And to get into podcasting, that's exactly how, is because I thought, it wasn't even my idea. It was one of my friends. He said to me, he says, did you ever think about doing a podcast on mental health? I mean, no. I've never ever thought of that. But then the idea stuck. Maybe it's because I was on night shift at the time at the P's, and night shift does funny things to my head. But no, we ended up then launching the Border podcast. As I always do, I always jump into food. The first episode was absolutely disgusting, terrible sounds, horrendous. But I love it in a certain way too, because I've never wanted the podcast to be perfect. I just want it to be somewhere that people can go and feel related to something, connect with somebody. And I'm so lucky. Speaking to you, we wouldn't have met if it wasn't for that bloody bath. So we gotta be thankful for some things too, Paul.
We wouldn't have met. It was on. We got to know each other through TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen you on your lives on TikTok, and and I watched a few, and you got to know me through like comments, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was commenting on your lives, and to talk about your lives for this, or talk about your talk about what you do on the podcast, or whatever.